Hi, this is Kylie Coo. Welcome to my studio. So this is the final prompt for the Wild Positivity series, and the prompt for this month is reflect. So if you are a recent subscriber or this is your first time watching one of my videos, then welcome. If you've been here before, then welcome back, and I am so sorry that it's been a while since I got a video up. So I'm starting today by putting some colour down on my page, and I'm going to use three colours, cad yellow, cad orange and cad red. And I'm just going to do a kind of sky effect, I suppose, just layering those three, trying to get a nice effect. So I've been kind of tied up with some other things recently, a family health issue, and it really just meant that I did not have time to do videos. I miss doing them, but sometimes, needs must. And I didn't actually think I was going to get another video done before the end of this year, but I just felt that I really needed to get this one done. I've worked on this series all year, one a month. I ran a bit late for most of the year, got caught up last month, and then hey ho, this month it kind of went awry again. But yesterday I thought I was going to get the page done and I didn't get round to it, but today I just felt this real need to get it done. So that's what I'm doing. It didn't take me terribly long. I have put this on double speed, but I really enjoyed it. I really haven't done much art at all. In fact, I've done no art at all really since my last video. I did try and tidy my supplies a little bit, but even that didn't get done. But it's okay. As we often say, life happens. So just working these three colours into this page, you'll see there's a couple of little blemishes on the page. I think that's because I had previously, at the start of the year, I gessoed all these pages, and I think when I've dried them I've gotten a little too close with the heat tool and the gesso's bubbled, but that's okay. Perfectly imperfect. So as I got into the page, I really started to feel good about things. As I say, it's so long since I did any art of any kind, so I really felt good getting back into the swing of it. And it felt good finishing this project off this year. I like to get things finished off. Can't always get everything finished off, but I like to get things finished off when I can. And so, for a number of reasons, it felt really, really good to get this page done. And I know there's a few of you still following along and doing the Wild Positivity, and I wanted to get it done for you as well. So although you're going to see this on the last day of the year, assuming it uploads okay, I'm doing this the day before. Today's Monday, 30th of December. Although you might not have time to do it before the year end, you will hopefully see it, or will have it there to do early in the year. So I've worked those three colours in, not trying to get a perfect effect. I then took this piece of kitchen towel. I just felt that I wanted a bit of kind of texture in the background, and I just took this piece of textured kitchen towel and I'm laying that down. You see my fingerprints are also there where I leaned on the paint, and that's fine. I was quite pleased the way that actually looked in the end. So I'm just going over the whole page. The effect is really quite subtle, but it is there. So I actually changed this prompt, I think, 4 times. I had set out most of the prompts at the start of the year, as I did in 2018 for the positivity deck, and I'd set all the prompts out at the start of the year with a little bit of flexibility. I had a couple of extra prompts in there that I just wanted to see how the year unfolded. And this for me is very much part of a journey, and it was very much about taking that notion of positivity but also thinking about wild positivity and getting back to what I was seeing as my kind of genuine self. I wasn't entirely certain what that meant. I felt that somewhere along the years I had lost something. Wasn't sure what, but just felt that there was something there. And that has very much been the focus of this year for me. And I'll say a little bit more about where I've got to in terms of the conclusions. I just want to say a little bit about this. I've picked 2 images from a magazine. I liked both of these, and because the page was about reflect, I did want to show a kind of calm page. I couldn't decide which image to use. I liked them both. I liked that top one very much. But when I saw the other image, the smaller image, I felt that it fitted in better with what I suppose I was trying to get over for myself here. And it was being perhaps a small part in a bigger whole. There's a wholeness there within the universe, wherever, whatever, and I didn't want the image to be the dominant part. I wanted this notion of someone, me, sitting reflecting within this big, wide, open space or whatever. Anyway, so as I say, I'd had 2 or 3 different prompts for this. One being that I was thinking really that whatever the prompt was, it needed to bring this to a conclusion. This is the last full page in the book, the last prompt of the year, so it felt as if it needed to reach a conclusion. But actually, what I've concluded, what I've reflected on, and I was doing a lot of reflecting on this the last couple of days, and this is why I came up with the prompt reflect. Where I've actually got to in my thinking is, this is not the end of the journey. It's an end of part of a journey for me, but simply because it's the end of the calendar year, and things don't always fall nicely in that respect, that things will be concluded at the end of one year and started at the beginning of the next. It's nice and tidy, but it doesn't actually always work that way. And so for me, my positivity journey will continue. I don't think at this point that I'm going to do another positivity series. I think, if anything, I may do some work on my own. I'll reflect on that further, but this might be it for the time being. But who knows, I might pop up with something else. I think it will just depend where things are going. So here I'm just going to take a few stencils. I wanted to introduce white to this. I felt really there was a need to introduce white. So I'm just using, I think, 3 different stencils and just using a brush to kind of gently stipple that in. I didn't want it too strong, but I definitely wanted it to be there. So yes, this will be the last. I want to do a bit more working on this book. There are a couple of blank pages at the start and the beginning, so I do want to bring the book to a conclusion, bring the journal to a conclusion. Not sure exactly when that will happen, but I want it to be fairly soon, because I do want this journal in and of itself to be finished. So I'm just using this stencil here. There had been a sort of sun on the little image, but some of the print on the back of the paper, it was a very thin magazine paper, some of the print on the back of that was coming through. So I decided to use this stencil to partly cover that up. And I also felt that the centre there looked a bit like a sun. So it could be a sunset, it could be a sunrise, doesn't matter really. So for those of you that have followed along very closely on this journey and have been doing your own wild positivity, I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you've got something from it. As I say, my main conclusion is that the journey continues for me. I do feel that I've learned a lot about myself, especially over the last few weeks in particular, during that time when I just really didn't get a chance to create, but perhaps that allowed me the time for reflection. So yes, all in all, it's been an interesting journey. I'm glad I did it. And if you're watching this and you're not doing wild positivity, I hope you just kind of enjoy the page that I'm creating here. Just trying now to integrate the image a little bit more. I could have gone in with more yellow and tried to integrate it more, but actually I was quite happy with it the way that it was. So all I'm going to do now is to take my alphabet stamps and I'm going to stamp that last prompt onto here. So the word reflect onto here. So just using my stamps and some black Stays On ink. Don't know if I said it already, but I am going to finish this little journal off. There's a blank page at the beginning. I'm going to put the prompts into that. I might film finishing it off, or I might just do a kind of flip through of the entire journal once it's finished. As for next year, I will be back on, I think it's Sunday the 5th of January. If you didn't see my What's Coming Up in 2020 video, I am going to be co-hosting a group with Nina Ribena, which will be called Nina Ribena and Kylie Coo's Mixed Media Emporium. I'll leave a link below. Now that's a Facebook group. If you're not in the group and interested in joining, then please do send a join request. If you're not in the group, perhaps you don't use Facebook, no worries. I hope you would still get something out of these videos. We will do one monthly prompt and the rest of the time we'll be doing lots of different projects in between times. And I'll be planning to finish off some other projects that I've not got finished this year, such as my boho journal. And I'll be back with some more journal making and some of my kind of junk use it or lose it type projects, just using up things that might otherwise go into the recycling, or just, all those little bits and pieces that I can never bring myself to throw out. So I've got my words stamped and I decide that I will just do a little border. I always feel that a border finishes things off, so just a kind of dot and dash type border. My paint there is still a little bit wet. I'm slightly concerned about the pen going into it because I've ruined so many pens this way. So I stop in a second, I dry it off, and then I finish doing the dots and the dashes around the page. So a very simple and straightforward page. I'm pleased with it as much because I got it done. After weeks of not doing anything, it just felt so good to sit down and do something. So I'm now just going over my word again just to help it stand out a little bit. So I very much hope you've enjoyed this video. If you did, then leave a comment below. As I say, if you're a new subscriber, welcome. If you've been here before, welcome back. So pleased to be back with you all. And I wish you season's greetings, whatever you celebrate at this time of year. I wish you all the best, and I wish you all the best for the coming year. So take care. Hope to see you again soon. Bye for now.